I like being the villain. I don't know how to describe it, but like, I'm like the good villain. I just like to troll people and have fun. I'm purposely misunderstood. This whole thing's a game. The biggest thing that drives me is making history now. Doing things that no one's ever done before and leaving an everlasting legacy. Boxing was the thing that pulled me out, gave me purpose, and made me become the best version of myself. I think the journey that I'm on now is larger than life. The flashiness of it, the business side of it, it's a chance and opportunity to create something that will be talked about in many generations to come and KO a bunch of people along the way.
Football is right around the corner, and there's no better place to keep up with all the action than DraftKings.
DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports, is your one-stop shop to making it rain all season long.
And they're giving all new players a free shot at $1 million during Week 1. If you haven't tried DraftKings yet, the preseason is the perfect time to test out your strategy. I'm excited to see what Tom Brady does after winning the Super Bowl out there in Tampa Bay. I'm excited to see how Patrick Mahomes rebounds after that loss, and I'm also excited to see how long it takes Trey Lance to jump over Jimmy Garoppolo out there in San Francisco.
I'm also excited to see how Julio is going to turn out in Tennessee. With Derrick Henry and that offense, I think that offense is going to be awesome. It's simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition.
Nothing adds to the excitement of the game quite like having a free shot at huge cash prizes.
And while you're finessing your daily fantasy skills, don't forget to check out DraftKings free-to-play pools, where there's even more cash up for grabs.
Download the DraftKings app now and use the code SMOKE. And for a limited time, new players can get a free shot at $1 million during Week 1.
Don't miss out on the action. Enter code SMOKE to get a free shot at millions of dollars in prizes with your first deposit.
That's code SMOKE, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for more details. Welcome back to All the Smoke, episode 100. We got him for y'all, man. When I thought of this show, this was one of the first people that came to mind. I've always respected his game, obviously, but I've respected his mental more, just the way he's approached life and the game. Me and Jack been chasing this nigga for 2 years.
Yeah.
And we finally got him, man, but it's only right. It's the 100th episode. We here, and we in New York.
Yeah.
And we got Melo here, man.
Indeed.
Appreciate you, bro.
Absolutely, peace.
My brother.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you being here.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right to it, man. 18 years in the league. This COVID is kind of, obviously, the pandemic has taken over the world, but what has it been like for you as a player in the health and safety protocols and all the stuff you have to do outside of actually getting to play the game?
It was tough. Like, I mean, going back to the bubble,
Yep.
right? With those health and safety protocols, it's like, shit was like Fort Knox down there, you know what I'm saying? So you really had to be on it. And it was serious. Like, I think a lot of guys didn't know or understand what it was gonna be like, but it was serious down there in that bubble as far as the protocols and all that. So I just followed protocol, man.
Right.
Did what I had to do and let everybody else do their job at the end of the day.
People don't understand how mental this game is. I mean, obviously, when you get to the top level, this is what allows you to, sustain your longevity. How has it been? You had a point where you had to take a whole year off. It wasn't really by your choice. How did you stay mentally locked in, knowing that you still have the ability and the skill to do it, but you wasn't getting the opportunity?
Yeah, but like, training is, like, for me, it became my lifestyle. So it's like I never was gonna stop training. It was just one point where I didn't know what I was training for.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what team I was gonna go to, what situation I was gonna be in. So I'm just in the gym, just working on shit that I already know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's second nature to me.
Right.
So I didn't know what situation I was going in. So that was the hard part. The mental part, the tough part was like, damn, you don't know where you're gonna be at.
Mm-hmm.
You start hearing, because they let me go in November.
Right, early.
So it was like, December 15th, you're gonna get picked up. Wait to January 15th. Wait till,
Was it ever
deadline.
teams, or just this is the point in the schedule or the season where they would look at?
We was in the first 10 games of the season.
Right.
So we ain't even get a chance to see what a team can really be about. You know, you still working out the kinks, and people ain't played preseason, guys is hurt, so you trying to figure it out. But that whole year, it was just like, I had to like just say, fuck it, like I'm getting away from the game of basketball, because when you love something and it don't love you back no more, it ain't no point to even putting your all into it. So but I always said, I'll keep my body right, I'm gonna train, I'll work out. My son had me right, being around his teammates and going to AAU tournaments. That's what really got me motivated again to get back in the game.
Right?
Yeah, because I was like, I'm done with the game.
Right.
The game don't love me the way I love the game no more. I'm done. I can't deal with this.
Especially after all you gave to the game, though.
I'm like 17 in, like 16 in at that point in time. So I'm talking to people, they like, nah, I don't give up. I'm like, man, I ain't giving up, but it's written. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be cool with walking away with the game. I'm set. I'm straight. My family is good. I'm situated.
Me and Jack were big advocates the whole time. We run across here once in a while, but we telling these people on these shows, like, what the fuck is going on, man? How's this dude not picked up? How's no one playing? But, you know, you hung in there. You landed on your feet with the Portland Trailblazers. What has that experience been like for that organization, and then getting a chance to play with Dame and CJ as well?
So Portland really stepped out there and like, all right, we're gonna make it work. I was hesitant about that situation too, because I'm like, I just dealt with this situation. I don't really, you gotta let me know, put the shit on the table at this point, because I really stepped away from the game.
Right.
So whatever you bring into me gotta be solid. Portland was real solid. They brought me in, and I played right away. And that's all I ever wanted to do was just hoop, man. I love the hoops. So I wanted to be on the court. And then I'm playing with Dame, playing with CJ. They opened their arms up, they opened their city up to me and their organization. So I had to be loyal to those guys. Like, I'm gonna give you what I got, you understand? And Dame is a real one, because Dame always knew, like, we don't care about what nobody else is saying. Like, we know you can play, I know you can play. I see you, I talk to you. So when you get somebody like that rocking with you, it makes that situation easy.
And y'all always wanted to play together anyway, right?
Yeah, I always was connected with Portland some way, somehow. I don't know why, but I always was connected with Portland. I mean, I could have been there 4 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So it didn't work out, but
timing.
I always told myself, like, Dame will always go down as one of my top dogs. Forget basketball.
Period.
Like, as a human being, you know what I'm saying? It don't get better than that.
Yeah. We'll get back to basketball later, but talk to us about your upbringing. Brooklyn, Baltimore. What was your childhood and teenage years like?
It was tough, man. Every hood got the same story at the end of the day, but going from New York, Brooklyn, in the height of the early 90s, that crack era hitting, it's like, I'm growing up in that. I didn't know it, but I'm growing up in that.
Right.
And then I go from that situation to be more, it's like,
worse.
It was worse, but I thought it was better. I'm out the projects now, but I'm in the house. I'm in the row house. I'm like, okay, bedroom a little bigger, another extra room in there. You know what I'm saying? I feel good, but I went to Baltimore the summer of '92, and that was the heyday of, it was Bodymore Murderland at that point in time. The pharmacy, you know what I'm saying? The Wire, like all of that stuff started to hit, and I'm just a product of that environment, man. And I'll never forget that ever. I'll never forget that moment.
Memories of Brooklyn as a kid, growing up in Brooklyn.
So Brooklyn, like, I never left out of, I was born in Red Hook, Brooklyn. So people who know Red Hook is like, it's like an island within the island. You know, it's one way in, one way out of Red Hook. You know what I'm saying? So you don't go outside of Red Hook. I never knew Manhattan. I never knew the Bronx. I just never did that. I never went to the Bronx until I got older, until I was in the league. And I'm like, I still don't feel comfortable over here. And I'm safe, but I still don't feel comfortable. So it was just hard growing up in Brooklyn, man, as a kid, and you seeing, I had everything, though, as far as experience. People fighting, slap boxing, dope fiends right there on the stoop. You walking outside, you kicking needles, you running past, the cells over here to go play ball, and you hit gunshots, and it's nothing.
Another
so
day.
You're numb to it.
I'm numb to it. I became immune to that.
You have a memoir coming out, Where Tomorrows Aren't Promised, coming out September 14th. Talk to us about that project, and obviously, you're someone who doesn't really speak very much.
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
public.
a tough one.
You know what I mean? So to really open up and be vulnerable and show your real upbringing in life, how was that for you?
It was tough, man, because it's therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? So
all that
it's
trauma.
therapy. So you gotta go back and relive those moments and relive those stories. I didn't want to touch anything after I got drafted, because everybody knows that story. I really wanted to connect with the youngins out there to let them know, like, what I went through, shit ain't sweet. Like, you don't just make it to the NBA like that. You don't just have 18 years in the NBA like that. Right. So I wanted to start from the beginning. So I started from the beginning, and I end the book the day I shook when I walked on the stage, David Stern. That's the last, that's it. And all of that story from Brooklyn to Baltimore, family, cousins, shit that I had to go through, shit I had to deal with, seeing shit as a kid that you ain't supposed to see as a kid, and you see it and you just walk on by. So I felt like this was the timing of me writing that book. It was needed.
How long was the process?
About a year and some change, man. It was, because I wanted it to be so real and so authentic. Like, I ain't hold no punches in the book. Right. So I had to go back and ask those stories, like, make sure people validated the shit that I was saying, because saying it from my point of view is a lot different than other people's point of view. Right. So I had to, every story was like, yo, you remember that? So they had to validate that, you know, because I ain't want nobody to be like, yo, this nigga Melo lying. Like, I ain't want that. So they had to really validate those stories. So that's why that took the process a lot
of tears during the time?
It wasn't no tears, man. Honestly, it was just like I can't believe I made it.
Raw emotion.
You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like, yo, you really, people need to hear this.
Yeah. Well, because often, too, because, I mean, you're still in it, but you never really get a chance to step back and like, damn, look where I came from, look what I did, look what I've accomplished, because you're still in the mix.
You're still in the mix, and so that's why I always find myself, like, going back and being in there, and it's like I never left.
Right.
I stayed tapped into the, to my streets and my hood and my people, because I was that. Right. And I never got a chance to, like, decompress on the upbringing. Right. You know what I'm saying? I went from high school, 1 year Oak Hill, 1 year at Syracuse, drafted to the NBA. I never even, it took me 8 years to go back to watch the national championship. I never watched the college my national championship game, because I just didn't have a moment to, like, sit still. So I always try to go back and, get that love and get that feeling. And just those stories, man, that's what motivates me and keeps me going.
Jack, you see civilians are going to outer space?
It's been a tough year, Matt, and people are looking for an out-of-this-world experience.
I had an out-of-this-world experience recently.
Oh, yeah? What was that?
Getting my orbits pube-free with Manscaped.
Thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, you can get a precise shave with no accidents to make your balls feel like they're floating in space.
The Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped will have your rocket ready for takeoff and has launched not only in the US, but the UK, Canada, Australia, Singapore, and all over Europe.
The Lawnmower 4.0 is ready for any grooming journey. You can use it on your balls, your body, and even Uranus.
Hopefully after you use it on your anus, you clean it. I see what you did there. Join the over 2 million men worldwide by going to manscaped.com/allthesmoke for your 20% off and free shipping.
Aboard Harry Balls and Buzz Lightyear your Woody with Manscaped.
Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/allthesmoke. That's 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/allthesmoke for a clean trinity and beyond.
Your space balls will thank you.
Look, nobody's perfect. Even the best baseball players in the world strike out with the bases loaded. I've seen the best shooter in the world miss plenty of three-point shots. That's just how it is sometimes.
So even if you feel like you're coming up short in the bedroom sometimes, it's perfectly okay.
Actually, it's not. And if it's bothering you, there's options.
Go to GetRoman.com/ATS now.
With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and outgoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home.
A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it will ship to you free with a 2-day shipping.
Just in time for the weekend. The whole process is straightforward and discreet.
Get started. It's simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/ATS and complete the online visit.
Take care of your ED without even leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with the doctor to take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/ATS now to get $15 off your first month.
Look, there's a straightforward way to take care of your ED. GetRoman.com/ATS.
Get started now and save $15 on your first month of treatment. Talk to us about your high school experience. Obviously, one of the top players in the country. Started at Townsend Catholic, eventually moved on to Oak Hill. But what was your high school process like?
Most NBA players in any school history.
Indeed.
Alumni.
Indeed. Oh, I mean, like, I went to a Catholic school, right? So going to Catholic school, it was hard coming in there with braids, you know what I'm saying, from the projects, got to take 2 trains, a bus to get to school every morning. You know, getting to school, however way you can get to school. And I was good, but I wasn't the top player in the country. Good. I was locally good. People knew me because I played in the streets. And I played with my neighborhood. Wherever my neighborhood went, that's what we was playing. We played for money, whatever. Whoever you was, we was rocking out. So when I got to Towson Catholic, I brought that with me. So by the time I get to my junior year, they kicked me out. You know, a lot of people don't know that I got kicked out of Towson Catholic my junior year because I had braids. They was just, you know, they was...
Too niggers.
It was racism, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't know that I was a part of the racism at that point in time. And, you know, you walking around and, you know, the Monsignor and the Archdiocese looking at you like, yo, well, you gotta take your hair out. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. Right. You know what I'm saying? My tie was crooked, you got detention. Like, they was picking on me.
Looking for anything.
So by the time my junior year ended, I had so many detentions accumulated that I had to come back that summer in order to get my transcript, my report card. And I'm like, I'm done with that. Like, I ain't about to come in the summer and scrub tables and, you know, wash books. So I'm not, man, it's summertime, man. So I got kicked out, they kicked me out. I had to go to summer school anyway, and then I ended up at Oak Hill, which really changed my whole life.
ABCD camp, how special was that experience?
I gotta take a drink on that one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
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 To Melo being here in the 100th
sir.
episode.
Yes,
you
sir.
dig?
I don't even drink red wine, but for Melo, fuck
You
it.
know that?
Let's get it. God damn it.
ABCD camp, man, was like golden hoops, man. It's like you there and it's like, who's who? Like, who I'm matched up with this whole week. But I was a late bloomer, right? So I had to go to summer school because of my transcript. So I couldn't go to Nike camp. They had me on a waiting list at Nike camp.
Really?
They had me on a waiting list at Nike camp. People don't know that either.
That's crazy.
5-star camp. I went to 5-star. That was like one of the only camps that I went to. And then I go to ABC, but I'm at Oak Hill. Oak Hill's a Jordan school. ABCD is Adidas.
Right.
And Sonny is like, yo, I need you for one day. Like, just come for one day. I'm like, nah, like, I'm Jordaned out. I can't wear Adidas. I ain't, you know, no disrespect, but at that point, I'm like, I can't do it. And Sonny was like, I said, the only way I'll come if you bring my man with me. My man gotta play, because I'm trying to get him off the block and get him in school, which turned out good.
Dope.
And I'm like, yo, I'm wearing my Jordans. Like, I was the only person ever in the history of ABCD camp to wear Jordans. It was the AJ16s, I'll never forget that, but they try to set me up. Lenny Cook first, LeBron at night, Raymond Felt the next day. You know what I'm saying? All these big time players, I'm like, let's get it. Like, this is my coming out party.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I only got a chance to play against Lenny that one game, and the rest is history after that.
Talk to us about good, because I don't think, obviously he's had his story, but I don't think people, unless you're a basketball head, know how good Lenny Cook was.
Lenny was good, man. He was 6'8", you know what I'm saying? Long arms, quick feet, quick hands. You know, he was a big guard. He was a point guard, 6'8" point guard. Pick you up full court, rowdy. You know, he was one of them. He was cut from where we was cut from. You know what I'm saying? So I respected him for that. I didn't know him like that, but I respected him because I see him like, oh, this is the type of time I need. Like, you know, I need this type of time. This gonna bring something else out of me if I play against that. So Lenny was a real deal. I give him that.
When did you and LeBron start playing each other and start developing a friendship?
So LeBron is one year younger than me. So we played, and when I get to Oak Hill, Bron and them had beat Oak Hill the previous year. And I'm like, yo, I gotta play against him. Like, it's on the schedule, we gotta make it happen. I knew nothing, I ain't never seen him, none of that. Because back then, he was the pamphlets, right?
Man, we was talking about this before. Like, there's no internet, you didn't know who the motherfucker was till you seen him in the gym.
It was Bob Gibbons' report, you know what I'm saying? So whoever was in that box in the middle,
damn, that's crazy.
whoever was in the box, that was the number one player. So that's who you going after at that point. So we get the jersey, and we playing in a primetime shootout, and he coming in the hotel, and we coming in the hotel, and he like, yo, you Melo? Like, you know, you Melo? I'm like, yeah. And we sat on the steps. It was All-Star Weekend in Philly, too. So we sat on the steps for hours the night before the game. Like, I don't know nothing about you, dog. You don't know nothing about me. And we sat there for hours just kicking and just talking, man. And we clicked from that moment.
Instantly.
You know what I'm saying? We just felt like we had similar backgrounds. You know what I'm saying? You single parent home, broken family, growing up in the hood, that was a similar story. So we connected off of that before basketball.
That's rare you do that. That's rare you, especially with two players being at the top like that. Y'all dug into each other as people.
Absolutely.
Before basketball, so it's easy to understand now y'all relationship now.
Yeah, because I was looking for some type of relationship like that with somebody.
Yeah.
And he was looking for that as well. So we came in each other's lives at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Because we was both looking for, that brotherhood, that brother that we can rely on and talk to. And we had that. That shit clicked right away.
So, besides Syracuse, who else was in the runnings to get you in college?
Yeah, I committed to like 5 schools.
Trying to figure it out.
No, I committed because I was just happy. Like, what? I'm walking around school with the book bag full of letters in my bag. Every day it's a new school. I'm like, oh, I'm coming. But I committed early to Syracuse.
Okay.
My junior year on my birthday. That was like my birthday present to me. And I was still at Towson. So when I get to Oak Hill, I'm like,
You get millions of letters.
this is what I'm saying. When you walk in the gym, every college coach in America is in there. So they looking at me like, yo, why you commit to Syracuse? And they're like, you only committed. You did a verbal.
You don't have to go.
You don't have to go. So I'm saying that, and we playing, and NBA scouts is in there. Every practice, the practice was like games. It was better than games.
Better than games.
So at that point, I'm like, oh, let me just try it. I'm gonna open it back up. And then I committed to I went like Georgia Tech. Jared Jack and Chris Bosh was going down Georgia Tech. So that was one of the schools. Jay Wright was just got the job at Villanova. So I wanted to go to Villanova, but they already had people. Carolina already had people in my spot. I forgot who was there. Jawad Williams was there at that position.
Your senior year of high school was 02?
My senior year was 02.
Okay.
Right. So then Syracuse was like, they had Preston Shumpert at the 3, and he was leaving. So I was like, oh, I can come right in and play right away. And that's why I really stuck with Syracuse.
So what was that experience like? I mean, you guys caught Magic in the bottle. You, Hakeem Warwick, was it Jerry McNamara?
Yeah.
You guys made that run, and your 1 year in college, you won a championship.
I ain't never think I would do that shit. I'm gonna be honest. Like, we was a good team, but I ain't never think we was gonna be that good.
Right.
To go 17-0 at home, I never lost in the Carrier Dome. People don't talk about that enough. Yeah, it's hard to do.
Hell
You know what I'm saying? So
Especially in the Big East, right?
in the Big East, this when the Big East was
With the Big
popping
East.
at
Right.
that point in time. This was the Big East, the heart of it. So being at Syracuse and just that whole experience, man, we just clicked. Like, it was just something that clicked. We wasn't doing nothing special.
Right.
We clicked. And then once we started feeling more confident about ourselves, we're like, oh, we can beat this team? Or we can beat them? Oh, shit, we just beat Missouri. They was number 5. We just beat Georgia Tech. They was number 7. Oh, okay.
We know, yeah, all right.
We going into the tournament, and I'm like, look, all we gotta do is get hot at the right time.
That's all it takes.
That's it. And at that point, it was like we knew we was gonna win the national championship.
What was your mental? I mean, obviously NBA is the goal, but college, a pit stop. Did you ever think about jumping straight to the league once you did get to the college? Was it one and done? Like, what was your mindset there?
I could have came out of high school, but again, like, people don't understand, like, NBA never was my goal. Like, it never was. I just felt like I can never reach that. And you hear so much, you hear the stats. 1 out of every 1,000, you know what I'm saying?
Struck by lightning.
Hearing
You got
all
a better
of that.
chance to get struck by
So I'm
lightning.
like, there's no chance in hell I'm gonna make the league. So I ain't even thinking about the league. Let me just get to college. So when I got to college, I'm on campus, I'm like, I never want to leave this shit. Like,
Shit is dope.
I'm Syracuse Big East, it's popping up here, like, I'm staying. And if you go back to the footage, even like my press conferences, I'm like, yo, like, forget 1 more year. Like, I thought you stay in school for 4 years. Like, I'm coming back. And then Boeheim was like, man, if you don't get your shit, get off my campus, man. We ain't trying to hear that. So he really kicked me off the campus, man. Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Right.
Makes sense.
What was most memorable about your 03 draft class?
I think the fact that we all, like, supported each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and Bron knew each other first. We came to New York for the draft. D-Wade, we were linked up with D-Wade. And it was just like, at that moment, just us 3. just moving. So we felt like we always had to hold each other down, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I always felt like, even though D-Wade is older, I always felt like the big brother. You know what I'm saying? I was the gangster of the crew, of the banana boat.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, it was like anything, even when we was younger, I used to feel like I had to protect Bron. In a sense, when I say protect him, meaning like, if I'm watching this game and a nigga foul him hard, I feel like I gotta get back, I'm gonna kill him the next game. You know what I'm saying? I got him the next game. You know what I'm saying? So I always felt like that. So that was always our dynamics with that 03 class. And then on top of that, you had Chris Bosh, you know, went down to Toronto, you had David West. So it was a lot of guys in our class that spread out. We had a deep class, but those 3-4 guys, we connected.
Now, I don't know if you've ever thought about it, you might have in passing, but obviously Detroit skipped over you, took Darko. Do you ever think, because that was a good Detroit team, obviously they went on and won championships. Do you ever think of that, like, damn,
changed the course of my career, man.
Right?
Insert him.
It was, I'm gonna tell you what, man, like to this day, I still think about that.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah. Cause I'm like, they promised me. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we taking you. We taking you.
Did they?
I'm talking all the way up to draft day. You understand? We taking you. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to Detroit. I get Chauncey there.
Rip.
James John, man, all these guys is there. She came in the middle of the year. I mean, she got traded.
Oh, that's right.
And that's what really put them over the top. But they was like, yo, you gonna share time with Tayshaun? I'm like, cool. Like, I ain't, you know, I'm gonna come and do my thing, but I don't know how long I'm gonna share time with him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming and do my thing. And then they won it. And I'm like, oh, my luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, if I'm there, I think they win another one.
I think so too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't jump out there so we 3P football. I think we go back to back if I'm there. Because that second year for me, I would have learned from those guys. They was all vets, and I would have learned from those guys in the way that second year coming back, I would have been a totally different player coming back. But, you know.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason,
But I was,
man.
yeah, man.
I still think about that shit, though, to this day, bro. I'm like.
Because I want to say, didn't we have Rip on the show, and Rip swore you was coming too.
Yeah,
Rip
he
said,
did.
we
telling you,
supposed to
man,
get
like,
Melo.
we
supposed to get Melo.
We drove from B-More to Philly. Me and my man Bay, we drove from B-More to Philly, man, to go watch. It was Detroit versus Philly. And Larry Brown had already took the job at Detroit, but he was still coaching Philly. So we're in the back, and he's like, yo, we taking you. Like, we taking you. So, I'm driving back up 95, like, yo, we going to Detroit. The whole hood is, we Detroit.
Detroit
You know what I'm saying?
basketball.
So it's like, that shit still sit with me to this day.
That's crazy. So you end up landing in Denver. What was that like? I mean, you're really an East Coast dude coming out west. What was that like?
I go to Denver, I'm like, yo, damn. I ain't never seen no mountains before. Like, I ain't never seen no snow caps like that before, you know what I'm saying? So it was hard, but I knew, like, you just felt the energy going into Denver. Like, they threw the ball at me, it's yours. And I was 19 when they did that. So I ain't thinking about no pressure. It was just like, this is mine. Bron had Cleveland, D-Wade was in Miami, Bosh was in Toronto. Everybody had their own situation. It wasn't no teaming up back then. Y'all know that. It wasn't no big three, it wasn't none of that. You held your own team down back then. So I jumped out to a great start in Denver. You know, we made the playoffs 7 years straight. My first year I made it, Bron may make it. So it was like, I love Denver.
Let's rewind a little bit, because you should have won Rookie of the Year.
I should have.
Quiet as kept.
I should have.
Quiet as kept.
Cole, we could have did Cole.
Yeah.
Could have did Cole.
Yeah.
I thought we was gonna beat Cole.
Yeah.
You know, they did the G Hill like that.
Yeah.
J-Kid. So I really thought, okay. And that was part of our story too. We like, yo, we about to beat Cole Rookie of the Year. Like, we was talking about that.
Right.
And I'm like, man, okay, now I see how my career is gonna go. I see how they gonna look at me. I see what time it is. Just embrace it. I gotta embrace it.
Right.
Had to. Who were your vets with the Nuggets? I know Big Shot.
So Big Shot came later, right? So I had
Shout out Stacey Augman.
I had Stace.
That's my brother.
Big bro. I had Stace. I had Kmart, Stacey Augman. I had Vashawn Leonard. Vashawn Leonard.
Yep.
Is Camby there yet?
Camby was there. Andre Miller.
Andre
you know,
Miller.
those was my vets. Earl Boykins. You know what I'm saying? Earl Watson came after that. So I had some good vets, and you know, we was, as y'all know, we was the thuggies back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We was hardcore. Like, even though we ain't winning, we still had fun playing the game of basketball.
Yeah.
You wasn't coming in Denver
That's what I was
with
about to
no
say.
easy
Coming-
lick.
yeah, coming
you know
into
what I'm
Denver
saying? Y'all, you
regardless.
couldn't breathe in Denver, so we like, yo, well, let's get them to the fourth quarter, man. We get them to the fourth quarter, we gonna drown them.
Yeah, that first quarter is always
Especially
about the
10-0.
6 minute mark. You
We was
That's what I'm
about to
saying.
tap out.
We was blowing our lungs off the night before too, so you come in there with the extra
Absolutely.
thin air advantage.
They get up to a 15-point lead quick.
And they like this too.
Yeah. And we, you know, we started that run and gun pace like that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Y'all caught it, y'all had it too in G State, but you know, we was that run and gun style and, you know, trying to score in 7-8 seconds, you know, get the ball up the court, like that was our MO.
2009 Western Conference Finals against Kobe. You guys were right
The
there on the
greatest.
doorstep.
The
Talk to us
greatest.
about that matchup.
The greatest, man. I just remember, that was my moment where me and Cole became, before that, we went to the Olympics before that, we became very close. But we became close on some disrespectful shit. Like, Cole, you know Cole, man. And
You're going at your
Slick.
neck.
you going at your neck,
Slick.
you saying shit to you, elbowing you. I had my braids back then too, so he touching my hair. I'm like, y'all, I don't like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, yo, don't touch my hair. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't touch me no more, dog. And he, you know, he's smirking and, you know, he doing his little shit elbows. And 09 came, and it was like, I remember we hugged before the game. He was like,
War.
it's war.
Yeah.
And I said, it's war. Like, let's get it. Like, it ain't gonna be nothing easy. And I just remember him. He always would tell me, I'll guard you in the fourth, because they ain't gonna make no calls on me. They ain't gonna call no shit on me in the fourth. And I usually try to beat him up though, you know? I was bigger than him, so I used to try to beat him up, be physical with him. He come back, elbow me, I come back, elbow him. He laughing, talking about that's all you got. You know what I'm saying? It was just
Pushing your buttons.
pushing my button to see if
Where
I
you
was
was
gonna,
at.
where I was
Yeah.
gonna stand at. You know what I'm saying? And that's how, like, we grew, man. And
Yeah.
we became who we are.
Talk about your relationship, not in basketball, but off the court, because I heard him speak in an interview too. That's kind of where he was kind of checking your temperature.
He was
and what
checking,
kind of
he
person
checked
you
my
were
temperature.
and all that. And
You know, because you hear shit, you know what I'm saying? You hear it. And at that point, 04, 05, 06 was like, those was I was still in the streets at those days. You know what I'm saying? So you hear all the stories, DUIs, gunshot weeks. Like, it was just a whole bunch of project shit at that day. And he was checking me, like he wanted to see if I really was that. And he wanted to see if I was gonna fold or if I was gonna stand tall. And the minute that I stood tall, he hit me, I'm cracking him back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He hit me again, I'm cracking him back. He fall, I'm stepping over him. Get up. You know what I'm saying? So when he catch that, he like, oh, I see what type of, oh, you a bully. Like, that's when he started calling me a bully at that point in time. So,
He respected that, though.
Oh, there's no
respected
question.
that. He respected
He just
that.
has a weird way of getting it to it, though.
yeah, man, he had a weird way of just, you
Yeah.
know, he had a weird way of just being like, yo, you nice. You
He ain't
know,
gonna- he ain't
wasn't
gonna just say that.
hell
Nah, it ain't gonna be that
hell
simple.
He might
nah.
not even never say that, period.
Man,
In the papers he will, but to you he won't.
bro, he pulled me to the side in the Olympics and said, you're a bad motherfucker. Like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he knew what it was already. And it took him forever to get that. So for me as a young player, 4 years in the league at that time, is nothing, you want nothing more than somebody like that to come to me like, yo, you're a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That was respect. So when he did that, I knew it took a lot out of him to tell me some shit like that. So I took that and you know, I built on that.
Although you guys never got over the hump, you guys are a really special team. Camby, Billups, Martin, JR. What do you remember most about those teams?
Swish, man. Big shout out to Swish, man. That's my best bro. I just remember us having fun. Like, we just had so much fun on the road. You know, we was road warriors, man.
That camaraderie.
Yeah, we partied. Like, people don't know, man. Y'all know, but
Yeah.
the Denver Nuggets was
partying too.
partying.
Yes.
Y'all was partying too.
Yes.
The Nuggets, we was partying.
Having a good
Every
time.
night, we was partying. AI would have a party over here. Kmart would have a party over here. I got a party over there.
Yeah.
It was just like, we tapping in and we gonna party
Still
and we
get
gonna
the
come
work
play
done.
and we gonna come
Right.
work the next day. And we had that understanding.
Take us through the 2011 trade back home. We need to have another drink to that?
Yeah,
Okay, let's get another drink to that. Yeah.
2011. Contrary to what everybody believed, I didn't want to leave Denver. You know what I'm saying? I never told people that, but I never wanted to leave Denver. But it's like they put my back against the wall. We go to the Western Conference Finals in 2009. What you supposed to do? Supposed to build on that. Supposed to add a piece here, plug and play, don't mess the core up. They got rid of Dante Jones, right? And on that team, Dante was a key piece on that team. Get rid of Dante Jones. They like, we ain't re-signing Chauncey. We about to trade JR. Kmart, you know what I'm saying? Contracts is up. And the lockout was coming. So I'm like, I'm not about to rebuild. I'm not gonna rebuild after we done went to the Western Conference Finals. We supposed to be building, not rebuilding.
Right.
And I went to him, I'm like, look, I don't wanna go, but if y'all gonna rebuild, it's time for me to go somewhere else. And New York was a destination, but I had to go through so much. Jersey was at the time, Jersey would come because they had all the picks. George Karl wanted me to go to Utah. I'm like, I would stay here, I'll play through the lockout. I ain't about to go to Utah for no reason. Because at the time, he wanted the young boy Derrick Favors. He wanted the young boy, so.
Word, that was
like,
a mistake.
man, after that trade, I better have a trade clause, because anything can happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I come to New York, and just that Amari was here, he was rolling. He came that year before me. Ray Felton was here, they was rolling. They were supposed to be all-stars together. And I remember I got married in New York, and they come to the wedding. And I remember I'm on a boat, and we in front of the Statue of Liberty, and they start playing I'm From New York with Jay-Z. And I'm just like in the front of the Statue of Liberty, and I had a moment,
right.
and I'm like,
chill.
I said, yo, I gotta come. Like, I gotta get to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing the energy in New York, and I'm like, if I'm gonna go anywhere, I gotta be on the biggest stage. I gotta perform on the biggest stage, because my time in Denver was already, I already peaked in Denver. And they small market teams like that, or secondary market teams like that, it would have took them a long time to really get the pieces. Nobody was really coming to Denver like that. They did a great job of putting our team together.
Right. So what was it like to come home and jump in the mix, and then you guys are in the playoffs your first 2 years? What's that although you guys lose in the first round, what's that energy like to come back home and then you got the hometown team in the playoffs?
It wasn't nothing like it. And I tell people all the time, you ain't see nothing or experience nothing until you in the Garden when it's rocking. You understand? When it's rocking, there's no better place in the world to be in. So for me, that's home for me every night.
Right.
But on the flip side of that, I had to perform. Like, you ain't coming here because they gonna let you know. You know what I'm saying?
Especially you.
The guy, especially me. We gave away the whole team for you. You know what I'm saying? We gave away the whole team, we gotta come in the ball. So I embraced that. I wanted that pressure. And I also knew a lot of people didn't want that coming to New York. They didn't want that pressure.
So 2013, you guys win 50 games, beat Boston in 6, fall to the Pacers. You kind of feel like you guys are making progress at that point?
We making progress. It's like, I feel like I won a championship after we beat Boston. You know what I'm saying? We beat them. We supposed to sweep them that year. You know what I'm saying? JR gets suspended, but we supposed to sweep Boston. I'll say that on the record. But I felt like it was a championship for me because of just how much you hear about New York, Boston. And it wasn't just basketball, it was baseball, it was football, it was high school, it was like street shit. It's like, I'm a part of that, and I'm the focal point of that. Nah, beating Boston was like one of the biggest moments, and they was tough, you know what I'm saying? They was tough, the big three, they carried it like that. And I knew in order to beat them, we had to carry it. We had to be on that same type of time they was on.
So you come in on a high, and then reality sets in when struggle starts kicking in.
Facts.
It's a tough place to be when y'all not winning. What was that like for you mentally?
So I said it's the best place to be.
And the worst.
And the worst place to be.
I can see it.
And I always observe, right? I always look, listen, and observe, and I'm always see how other athletes dealt with shit here in New York. And I would sit back and be like, yo, if that was me, I wouldn't deal with it like that. Or I would deal with it like this. Or he doing it the right way. All right, Jeter, he doing it the right way. This person ain't. You know what I'm saying? And I seen how athletes got, they build you up and they kick the chair from underneath for you here in New York.
Yep.
And I never wanted to be that, so I always stayed solid with the media. Even though I ain't like talking to them, win, lose, or draw, I stood up. I stood tall after the game. If we lost, it was on me. It wasn't on nobody else. I never blamed anybody else. So I dealt with it, and I think I reaped the benefits of, staying solid at the end of it.
The benefits of being real is so beneficial.
Absolutely, absolutely.
What could you change if you could from that time? What would you change?
From the Knicks? I think just the way that shit was handled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
How
way
you
that,
was handled.
You know what I'm saying? How I was handled personally.
Right.
I would change that. I would want them to communicate with me a lot more than what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And when Phil came, it was just like he cut that line of communication off from me with the front office, with staff members, even players. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, like, you talking to him about me, you going to him talking to him about you is...
But I'm right here.
I'm right here. And the minute that I knew that was the game that was being played, I'm like, nah.
Even with we had C Brickley here yesterday, and he was like...
Brick was there?
But he was like, when Derek Fisher was there, he was like, he was low-key jealous of the relationship that y'all had.
Man,
you know
look,
what I'm saying?
man, because I'm big on bringing other people up.
Yeah.
And Brick was he was a rebounder for us. And I gravitated towards him.
Yeah.
I seen he was in the gym all day, all night. I'm talking about the hours that they had him working was crazy. No, nobody should work that much.
But he didn't complain.
He didn't complain, so I'm like, I'll call him, yo, meet me at the gym, I'm coming back up. What time? I'll be there. He rebounding. So before practice, after practice, I would look for him. You know what I'm saying? I would be looking for Brick. And they hated that shit. We also had Kenny Atkinson was in the same position that Brick was in at that point in time. But I'm going to Brick. I'm like, I feel comfortable with him. I can confide in him, he can confide in me. I know his struggle and what he's trying to do.
Right.
And I told him, I said, I got you. Like, I got you. I'm gonna make you my trainer, I got you. Fuck what they talking about.
Right.
I got you.
So you mentioned Phil. I mean, obviously with that relationship, you think Phil Jackson, you think this and that, but once he actually gets there, it's not what you guys think. Has there ever been any closure? Because obviously, the friction has been publicized. Has there ever been any closure between you and Phil?
Nah. I mean, I don't need closure. You understand?
Okay.
It is what it is.
I stood tall during my time, so it is what it is. You feel the way that you feel about me. You say what you got to say about me. I know if I had to sit down with you, you wouldn't say that. You would say something totally different. You're gonna tell me, it wasn't like that. So I ain't really got time for that.
You don't need it.
I don't need it at this point.
Yeah.
Part 3 of your Knicks experience, deciding it's time to go. What was that? How tough was that?
It was tough because I didn't want to leave the Knicks either. You understand? I didn't want to leave, even though, like, we was losing. I'm like, I still don't want to leave. Like, this is me. I came here for a reason. This is where I'm ending it at. And for some reason, man, that man he used to, like, tell me everything in the book without telling me, get out.
I thought you was a lifer with the Knicks, I can't lie. I thought you was gonna retire there.
That's what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. And I'm talking about every time, man. It's just like, he telling me shit to just basically, like, pushing me towards the door. And I know he pushing me, and I'm like, nope, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere.
Trying to get you to hang yourself?
Trying to get me hanging myself, man. And honestly, like, Phil, I probably had 3 conversations, man. It's the whole time he was here. We never talk like that. If we talk, we would sit in the room, his office, lights out, couple candles, you know what I'm saying? And we would watch film. And he would teach me how to break the triangle. You understand? Like, he would teach me, like, yo, this is what you gotta do. So I learned it so crazy, but I think he was a little sick that I learned it before from Cole and MJ. Like, I used to sit with them and ask him, yo, what's up with this triangle? And Cole used to, we sit down.
Cole was the master of breaking the triangle.
And I think Phil hated that shit, the fact that I figured it out. On how to get to my spots, how to get what I really wanted out of that. So he used to always say I was manipulating the offense. But bro, like, I'm trying to get to it.
That's what you needed, though.
That's what I needed.
Yeah.
And he wasn't flying with that.
Well, that's funny. When you sit back and think about it, from where you started, to Baltimore, to Syracuse, to Now you're number 10 all time on the scoring list. First of all,
crazy.
congratulations.
Thank you,
but what
man.
does that mean to you, and how do you process something like that?
It was hard. It's still hard to process that because I'm still in it. I'm still playing. So, you know, I'm in Atlanta, and that was the Atlanta game, and I get the 10th spot. We play the next day. It's like you can't even sit still and celebrate that. You know, so everybody else can celebrate it for you, but I gotta get ready for the next game.
Right.
I gotta go play Milwaukee the next night. Like I can't be celebrating 10th. Like these motherfuckers don't give a fuck about 10th. Like they trying to beat the shit out of us out there the next day. So it's still I understand it, but it ain't gonna be till I'm done.
Done. You got some more climbing to do, because 9, you're not that far behind 9.
I ain't far from 9, man. 9, 8 is right there. After that, y'all can have that shit after that. I ain't gonna be here that long.
That's a lot of points, bro.
I mean, Olympic Melo, 3 gold medals, all-time leading scorer, although I think KD today, if he gets 6 points, he passes you.
Which he should, which he's supposed to.
That's what's supposed to happen, but what was your Olympic experience like? You were one of the greatest Olympic players our country's ever seen.
I think losing in 04, getting embarrassed in 04, you know, losing to Puerto Rico at that for me personally, it was like, we could lose to anybody, but not Puerto Rico,
right?
Not PR. So losing in 04, coming back in 06, losing in the World Championship, and that moment we lost the game, and I'm on the court, and they throwing toilet tissue, confetti. It wasn't even a championship game. They beat us. And I remember me and Bron walked off the court and he's like, yo, come on, man, we gotta get off the court. He was like, yo, we're gonna be back. We're gonna be back. We came back 07, won the FIBA games in Vegas, and I had to convince my brother, man, come on, Cole, come on. He's like, no, I ain't fucking with it. I ain't fucking with that. I'm like, come on, like you the missing link.
You sound just like when you said that shit too. I ain't fucking with that.
No, I ain't fucking with that. No. For what? For what? I was like, bro, you the missing link. Bron, D-Wade, like we are, you know what I mean? J-Kid, CP, this was Dwight, was Chris Barnes, like.
Dwight was Dwight still, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta go. He's like, you know, Nike came in and, you know, helped it out, but that 08 team, probably the best team I ever played for. I love the 92 team, man, but that 08 team, like we had a different mindset. Like we was locked in, you know what I'm saying? And it was a dog-eat-dog world, you know what I'm saying, at that point, and you couldn't come with no bullshit in 08. Practices, you couldn't come. I don't give a fuck who you was.
Right.
You couldn't come. So 08 came, best experience ever. 2012 came, go to London, win that. That was sweet too. Then 16 was like, this is it for me. You know what I'm saying? I left my shit in Rio. My sneakers are probably still in the gym. So I ain't never touching USA basketball again, because 4 Olympics, man.
That's a lot.
That's a lot, man. 4 Olympics. I played USA basketball for damn near 8 summers straight.
No break.
No break. So I'm like, I'm done with it, man. I hung my hat up with Team USA. If they need me, they could.
Hey, but you know, one thing about it though, for your credit though, to say all the stars they had on the team, the respect they had for you, because down in scratch, they was coming to you.
But they also knew how I was giving it up too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They also knew, like, yo, you fucking around, Stack. Come on, stop playing.
Yeah.
Bron, you fucking around. D-Wade, don't play. Like, we ain't, it was that. So, I don't want to pat myself on the back for that, but I felt like I was the glue guy to a lot of situations over there where shit could have went left.
Right.
Shit could have went left over there. People don't know that. People who know. Shit could have easily went left.
But I mean, I think that's what this team right now is struggling with, is kind of defining roles and having to understand who's going to sacrifice.
Yeah,
you guys had a lot of people on your team that sacrificed to make that shit happen.
And it started from the jump. And Coach K did a great job of, you know, giving everybody their roles. But he didn't keep you in a box, but he told you what he expected from each guy. And I remember, like, you know, we was talking about, you know, who's going to start and who's not. And I went to him, I'm like, yo, Coach, look, don't stress yourself out about that. Start KD. Like, bring me off the bench. Like, ain't nobody gonna remember I came off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna remember that. So he's like, you know, it's just, I said, listen, Coach K, man, start that man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do what I do regardless. Start him. And that, you know, he defined those roles for us.
You haven't yet got an opportunity to win a championship, but how special was it winning gold medals with your brothers?
Yeah, so the gold medals, winning that was special. Especially that 08 one. Like, the 08 was like, okay, we got our shit back. And I looked to the left, Bron, looked to the right, Cole, back here, D-Wade, CP. You know what I'm saying? It was like, this is how it's supposed to be. Yeah. You're supposed to celebrate these moments at that level of any sport together like that.
How did the banana boat come together?
I have no idea, but to be honest, man, I wasn't on that fucking banana boat, man. You know what I'm saying? We went on a vacation, you know what I'm saying? We went on a vacation, man, a little brotherhood vacation. And
LeBron saved your life?
I heard there's a rumor.
I came late though. I came late to the vacation.
So you missed the banana boat.
So as I'm on the tender, going to the yacht, I see them on the banana boat. Right? So I'm looking like,
what the fuck is going on?
Yo,
here?
what are y'all? You know, I'm looking at myself like, what the fuck are they doing?
Like you said, you the gangster of the
I ain't
group.
never getting on no shit like that. Right. So I get to the boat, and the next day, it's like a picture of like, you know, everywhere was the banana boat crew. I ain't even there though. I rode past that shit. I won't even get on that shit with my son. Like, I'm not getting on no banana. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting on that shit, man.
Word.
Talk to us about too. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that Bron saved your life.
Man,
some
look,
swimming shit. Any truth to it? I just want to know if it's true.
It's truth, man.
What happened?
We was in like the little grotto, like in the Bahamas. You know, you could swim underneath.
Because Jack is scared to get in the bathtub, so you can't swim neither?
I can swim, but I'm gonna tell you some real shit. I can survive.
Okay, that's important.
I can survive.
That's what you need.
So we in there, and we trying to get back. Everybody swimming back to the boat, but I'm snorkeling too. We snorkeling on the way back. And my head is in the water, and I'm snorkeling, and I look up. Every time I look up out the water, the boat is further and further away.
No.
And I'm getting pushed by the current.
The undertow and current.
And I'm like, yo. Like, niggas is looking at me like I'm joking. I'm like, yo, I need help. Like this, I'm swimming, I'm like this. I'm trying to hold on to a rock.
You was exhausted.
I was exhausted. I'm like, I ain't gonna fight that current like that. So the one guy was like, just don't fight it. You know what I'm saying? Let it, just go with it. Go with the flow. And I see Bron jump in the water. He just, you know. Aquaman jump in the water. Because D-Wade was right in front of me. He got on right before me. So I'm thinking D going come back, but I know D ain't rocking with the water like that. You know? So D over there like, he like, yo, go get him. Like, go get him. And I just see Bron just coming like, I got you, champ, I got you. Grab me, and we went back to the boat, man.
So, all purpose. LeBron is all purpose. Lifeguard, all kind of shit.
But it's crazy because he's very good at a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't give a fuck what it is. He's gonna be successful at that. Mm-hmm. He's gonna figure it out.
He's one of them people.
He's just one of them natural freaks, man. I call him a lab baby, man. Right. He was built in the lab.
Well, shout out Bron for saving your man's life.
Yeah,
we all appreciate you.
King.
They said he had Melo on one arm swimming against the current with the other.
With snorkels on.
Superhuman.
Making it look easy.
What was your inspiration behind launching Creative 7?
So Creative 7 was like, I had a production company years ago. Our first project was a Tyson documentary years ago. And I got my feet wet in the production business. And I just always I would watch the business to see where it was going. But I knew it was hard for athletes to tap into any other industry other than
what we do.
Basketball.
Yeah. Right.
And, you know, music was a thing at the time. I tried to dip and dab in music. But it was like, I knew I had an itch for that shit, you know, and creating content. And I was creating content back then, not even knowing what I was doing. And then you see everybody start creating content. And years later, I'm trying to revamp the production company. I'm sitting down with my partner now, who's she's the president of Mellow Enterprises. So we sitting down and we just like, yo, we gotta start telling these stories. Like, we got so many stories that needs to be told. We gotta tap into our people, telling our stories, and we gotta go back to the true essence of where we come from and telling stories about the unsung heroes. And, you know, I don't wanna keep hearing about, no disrespect, but Dr. Martin Luther King. Like, we learned about that shit already. What about this guy?
The next
Medgar Evers.
What about Medgar Evers? What about these guys right here? Their stories need to be told. You understand? The history behind that, what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was joking with somebody the other day. I'm like, yo, people don't know Beethoven was black.
Right.
Really?
That's what I'm saying. You ain't even
I
know
had
that.
no idea.
This was what I'm saying. So it's
That's
like
crazy.
these are stories that people need to know that. And shit that they used to do to him.
Right.
It was a reverse.
The richest man ever in the world was black, Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa. So
Yeah.
it was like, these are stories that people don't know about, but they really need
yeah,
to know
absolutely.
about that. So that was like the idea behind creating Creative 7.
Dope.
That's dope.
Obviously, last year with the pandemic hitting, the George Floyd shit hitting, Jack found his next calling, I think, his main calling, what he was made to do in this social justice space. You guys created a social change fund. You, CP, Bron, anyone else involved? I mean,
D-Wade, Bron, D-Wade, Bron.
So what is the mission and the goal behind that fund?
Yo, man, we just wanted to start putting our money where our mouth was at. You know what I'm saying? Like, we did the ESPY speech, and that was like the call.
That was big.
That was a call to action.
That was
You know what I'm
big.
saying? Like, that was our athlete summit of '68.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that was the Ali, Jim Brown.
Right.
That was that
Kareem,
moment.
yep.
But I also say I think it was bigger than that moment because they sat in the room and did a press conference and, you know, amongst
The
themselves.
world scene, y'all shit.
We called out our fellow athletes. And if you ain't take that and ran with that after that, then you ain't who you say you are. You ain't really down for the cause. So after that, it was like, what's 2.0 to that? You know, what's next? Then the George Floyd shit hit and it was like, the bubble shit hit. And it was like, yo, we gotta do something. You know, CP was already doing it with the PA. D-Wade was doing his own thing. I was doing my own thing. And it was like, yo, we gotta come together. Like, we gotta have some type of unity and go out to the world and really make change socially. Like, you know, so let's create this fund. You know, we team up with everybody. It don't even matter. Like, we ain't in competition with nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you come on, you got some shit, you come on, we support that. You know what I'm saying? So we had our pillars, you know, everybody had their own thing that they wanted to do, education and prison reform and, you know, it was just like, let's just take 3 or 4 pillars that we really want to rock out with. Let's attack that, and then we go from there.
Where did the idea come up from? What's in your glass?
The pandemic. Yo, What's in Your Glass started like every Monday during the quarantine. I would just get on, like we would just be on Zoom, right? I first learned about Zoom during that time. So we on Zoom and it's like, say it's me and you on Zoom. We just rocking, talking, drinking wine. And I'm like, yo, call somebody else on. Like, see who you could get on with us. I'll call one person, you call one person, that person will call somebody, that person. So it became just a cycle, you know what I'm saying? It was like Kevin Hart, Wahlberg, Brady was on one of them, Dave Chappelle. Like, it was just like, you didn't know who the fuck was gonna come on that. And then I realized, like, yo, everybody needs this, but everybody everybody drinking wine and shit. We had D-Nice with the DJ, we had Versus and the wine. Like, those are the 3, you know what I'm saying? That's what was going on. So I kept that, What's in Your Glass. I started it, kept it going, and here now we got a full production behind it, man.
Dope.
We made it a premium show.
Dope. Coming down to the end, I think as athletes often, we don't get enough credit for because people just think basketball is our life, and that's the furthest thing from the truth. Recently, you've had stuff in the media. What do you do mentally to block out the noise, to focus on 1, being a player, and then 2, being a father?
Yeah, so the player, that's gonna be there. Like, anything I do is surrounded around that. As long as I get that done, I can do whatever the hell I wanna do after that. The parenting that's easy. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be in their life. You gotta be there. You gotta be there. That's super easy. That comes natural for me. So I don't have to think twice about that. So when shit is out there in the field and people talking, like, I just stand tall on who I am.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I know the truth. And that's all that matters. Like, you ain't gonna never hear me speak on nothing. I don't basketball, personal, you ain't gonna never hear me speak on it because only I know the truth. And I'm gonna stand tall on that.
That goes with who I said. People say a lot of things, but when you go and look at yourself in the mirror, if you're not happy with what you see, because the mirror ain't gonna lie to you.
Not at all.
It's gonna keep it real with you every time you look in there. And if you can go in the mirror and be happy with what you see, fuck what anybody else says.
It don't matter, man. It don't matter. But I also say that year that I took away from the game, like, that shit did something different to me. Mentally, spiritually, mentally, it did something different to me. Like, I came out of that on some, like, I was untouchable. You You know what I'm saying? Like spiritually, I was locked in. I haven't been locked in like that. I'll be in my lessons and my books and all that, but I wasn't locked in like that. You know, so to sit still for a year, give me a chance to get away from basketball, really say fuck basketball at that point. Let me get back in my literature. Let me get back in my lessons. Let me really lock in. Let me unravel all of these years of just building up and suppressing a lot of shit. I got to get that out. And the minute that I got that out, like I felt so much better mentally, spiritually. I just felt so much better after
Lighter.
During that time too, it was good you didn't say nothing because you had so many people speaking up for you because they know you as a person, they know what you deserve, and everybody that knew you didn't mind riding from. Now I ain't talking about us, talking about the world.
Right.
Everybody was speaking up because and that's a testament to who you are.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Because like the media can say a lot of things, but the best thing about now is we controlling our own narrative.
That's
and people
a fact.
that knew you,
Peers.
we had a platform, and people that knew you had a platform. So it's best sometimes when you don't say nothing because you know people that know you gonna ride for you.
Absolutely. I ain't have to say much, man, and I'm glad I didn't really have to say much. I ain't had to say shit at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had y'all holding me down, which I appreciate that big time. And just people, like you said, people who knew me.
Right.
People who really know my true essence. That's who was speaking up for me. And I always say, man, if I never, ever win a championship, as long as I got my respect for my peers, that's all that matters.
Straight up.
That's all that matters.
Straight up. Quick hitters, first thing to come to mind, if you could relive one night in your career, which night would it be?
Draft night.
Okay.
Why draft night?
Draft night.
Yeah, I dig.
Draft night.
I dig.
Draft night.
You +4 going to blacktop, who you taking? Going to the blacktop, you +4.
Oh, Cole, KD, Kyrie.
One more.
Me +4.
Yeah.
I don't really need a big. I'll take Ticket. I'll take KG.
Yeah.
I'll take Ticket. Because we playing on
That's a
blacktop.
mob.
You playing on blacktop, you gotta go get it, man. You gotta have killers out there with
And
you.
he
You know
is
what
a
I'm saying?
dog.
So,
Go ahead, what?
no, go.
Top 5 artists in your opinion.
Oh, shit. Right now,
In
Just
your
period. Your top 5 artists.
I'm Nas, Hove, Kiss.
I smell that East Coast bias coming in.
Oh,
Nas,
man.
Hov, Kiss.
I hate this, man. I hate this shit. Like I love Rakim.
Yeah, of
Come
course.
on, man.
How
I'm
can you
saying?
not?
Come on,
I
legend.
love the guard, man. So he will always, no matter what, be in my
guard,
top 5,
Rakim.
man. You know, hence the 7. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah.
you know the history on that.
Yeah.
I'm a Jeezy fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm a Jeezy. Like I came up with Jeezy. You know what I'm saying? So. Fuck that. I can't put 5, man. I can't. I hate this shit.
I can do everybody.
I hate
They say
that
I can't
shit.
do Nas. I don't know what Nas do.
I hate that shit.
Does
You know what I'm
Nas
saying?
do anything?
I
That's
grew
what
up,
I'm saying. I don't know.
I grew up on Nas. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on, you know, the Timberland boots with the army jackets.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that was project. Looking out my project windows, like songs that could
Spoke to you.
that spoke to me.
The
You know what I'm
world is
saying?
yours.
The Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? And then as I started getting older, you know, X was a dog. Snoop. You know what I'm saying? I always fuck with Game. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can't put 5, man. I fuck with everybody. I'll tell you what I do though. I give everybody a shot.
Yeah.
I give everybody a shot.
Yeah.
And
fair.
that gives me a reason to be like, nah, I don't fuck with you.
Fair enough.
Favorite road arena to silence.
Ooh, good one.
Boston.
I like that.
Boston.
He don't like that. Look, he don't like that. No, he don't
Boston,
like
man.
that.
Boston is just, they vicious out there, man.
They got downhard fans.
Yeah,
boy.
they don't give a fuck out there in Boston.
Cutthroat.
That's the East Coast, Utah, to me, Boston.
Utah is second.
That's the East Coast,
Them
Utah.
motherfuckers out there is rowdy.
Utah.
Rowdy and racist.
If I can silence Utah, I'm a silence them.
Yes.
Utah is a place you want to dagger, like.
You want to beat them so bad.
Yeah, you want to dagger and just talk your talk out there in Utah.
Your favorite matchup to this point through your career?
It would be Cole. It would be cold.
Because y'all went at it.
On the spot again, 5 dinner guests, dead or alive.
I think you would like this question, though. Deep as you, I think you would like this.
Man,
Dead or alive.
Malcolm. Nelson. Marcus Garvey.
Yeah.
Dr. Ben York.
Deep.
Obama.
It's a hell of a
Hell of a table.
You're gonna learn a lot at that table.
Hell of a table.
Last question, bro.
This is a big, I might interlude on this question.
Yeah,
Go ahead and
yeah,
get it.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Get him.
Final question, bro, but remember, the answers to this question, you have to help us get them on the show. Who would you like to see on All the Smoke?
The person that saved your life swimming.
Or, oh no, he cool with somebody else that we trying to get to now.
Okay. Let him speak. We'll let him.
Hov?
This nigga's been doing noises ever since Fat Joe came the other day.
I know all they little
I think those two, man. I think Hov. I would love to see Hov. I would love to see Hov on here because it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's authentic. And he gonna kick that shit to you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna have all of y'all in here on something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you're gonna learn some shit from him too.
Yeah.
I would love to see Bron on here too.
The Kane.
I would love to see Hov on here though.
Yes.
I can sit and listen to Hov talk all day. You got bring Nas on here, man. You want to get to know him, bring Nas on here, man.
God, son, we need you.
Any one of them three will go. Yeah, let's go. Any one of them three will go.
Come on,
Any
man.
one of them.
Bless the brothers over here, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, man, that's a wrap. Mello.
100th episode, man.
Bro. We appreciate you, man.
My boy.
Peace,
We
man.
got a lot of love for you. You know what I mean? Like we said, man, your peers speak up for you, and that shows the character and the man who you are, man. So, you know, we got your back. You always got a family here.
Home
Good luck
here.
the rest of the way. We know you're not done. Keep climbing that ladder. You can catch us on Showtime Basketball YouTube, the 100th episode.
Indeed.
Appreciate you, bro.
Hoodie.
And the iHeart platform, The Black Effects.
You bitch you.
You bitch.
Boxing is a rebirth for me. It's my second opportunity for people to really get to know me for me. So they get the authentic, uncut raw Tyron Woodley. When Floyd began to train me, we started seeing Jake begin to, he couldn't be my brother, and we were in a nursing home, and I just laugh at it because I understand he's a child.
I think Floyd Mayweather training Tyron Woodley means he's gonna have less excuses when I beat his ass.
His brother outweighed Floyd by 40-something pounds. Still couldn't do it.
It's actually a negative thing for Tyron. Having a coach in LA, a coach in Miami, then Floyd Mayweather gets sprinkled in. What's your game plan?
Don't get it twisted, this is a fight. This is not the TikToker versus the YouTuber. These are two dudes that decided that I don't like you, you don't like me. Well, let's solve it. August 29th, I shake the world.